ahead and smash that like button. Today we have 5 of our amazing icons on the panel today to spread the wealth of mindset for you today, okay? This is something you can't download. We have Diane Cardano from Pennsylvania, Laura Healy from British Columbia, Anna Chihuang from California, Jenna Mayers from Ohio, and Lisa Parenteau from Massachusetts. Lisa, take it away.
Thank you so much, Brian. I am so excited. It's always a highlight for me to be involved with iConversations. Talking with other folks that are working and that are achieving, and it helps you remember that everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time, or their sneakers one shoe at a time. But we just have some great ideas to share and mindset. And today, I know we're going to talk a little bit more about mindset than production, and I hope folks will be super excited about that. I am really excited to see that I've got folks from Ohio, California, from Canada, British Columbia, and also from Pennsylvania. So you've really got the whole North America represented this morning. So I thought I would start out by telling you guys a little bit about me, but then I really want to step aside and feature our 4 amazing icon panelists. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourselves and then throw in a little twist. So let me just let you know that my name is Lisa Parenteau. I'm a broker associate and an EXP luxury ambassador on beautiful Cape Cod in Massachusetts. I'm kind of a serial volunteer. I also serve the EXP community as the vice chair of the Agent Advisory Council. I've been sitting on the advisory council for about 2 years, which is an amazing opportunity to give back. And I have a small team here on Cape Cod, but my most important role of all is that I am Glamma to 4-year-old Eloise Ann, who is the light of our lives and keeps us young and keeps us on our toes and has us explaining things we never thought we'd need to explain again. And then the twist I'm going to add to all of the 4 of you ladies is tell us something about yourself that people probably don't know. And I will share with you that I am a scuba diver. I've probably clocked well over 100 dives. It is the joy of my life, and I won't be able to go again most likely till next April, but I may go this fall, and I just live kind of from one dive to the next. So that's something that most people would not know about me. So let me start with Ohio. Jenna, can you jump in and share a little bit about yourself and something that most people would not know about you?
Sure. Yeah, thank you. My name is Jenna. I live in Eastern Ohio. I'm licensed in Ohio as well as West Virginia, and I have been licensed for a little over 3 years now. I got started right in the pandemic era, March of 2021. And I was lucky enough to join EXP as a brand new agent. So I've been here my entire 3 years. I've been able to icon 2 of the 3 years I've been here. I'm in a more rural market, so I do about between 60 and 70 deals a year at an average price point of about $160,000. I lead a small sales team. And my husband and we invest in small multifamily properties here in the area. We buy them and renovate all on our own, and we love to do that. Something that people probably wouldn't know about me is that I am super involved in the points and miles community. I have 22 credit cards, and I'm super involved in different ways of travel hacking and accumulating credit card points that we then use to travel. I've been able to visit 15 other countries that way. So yeah, thank you.
Wow. And God bless you at that average purchase price. That's all I can tell you. God bless. And to do so well for being so new in real estate is just amazing. Let's go across country to Anna in California.
Hello, my name is Anna. I'm in Sacramento, California. I've been licensed for 16 years, and I'm with EXP for 3 years, ICON 3 years. I lead a mega ICON team with an agent of 21 right now, and currently we are about 250 plus transactions per year and about 140 millions currently. And something that people would not know about me is that I like to bake when I have free time. So my relaxing moments are when I'm home baking and, sharing how to cook with my kids. So that's all about me.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That's amazing. Would love to, maybe you could share one of your favorite recipes with us later, for sure. Okay,
Sure.
so let's go up to Canada. Laura, tell us a little bit about yourself and something that we would not know about you.
Oh, wow. I love being put on the spot. Um, I'm such a preparer, right? I love to be prepared for things. So I'm a 4-time icon. I was an unlicensed assistant for a long time before getting into real estate. And I don't advertise. From day one, my business has been built on sphere of influence and client reviews. I think the year I sold the most homes, I think I sold 55 2 years ago. I spent $108 in like some type of promotion or sponsorship. I'm fully client eccentric. I'm all about the experience. I'm full service. I'm VIP concierge. My clients are my why. Um, something you don't know about me, from a very, very young age, my parents instilled in me that mindset was kind of the key to success. And at age, I guess, 9, I was kind of the average, typical pre-teenager who had a sister who was good at everything. And kilometer by kilometer, I taught myself how to run competitive cross country and was the second fastest runner for 1500 in the province. And when I started, I could barely run like 500 meters. So that was a fun little fact that morphed my world.
Wow, that is amazing. When you ask this question of people, I just love it because you learn things about people that they would probably never usually mention or speak to. But interestingly, you can see how those skills, especially the ones that people choose to share like that, really inform the way they walk in the world. I suspect you're quite disciplined, because I think it takes a lot of discipline to do those kinds of things. I know for me, I'm incredibly adventurous. And so that's probably why I love scuba diving so much, so it's interesting. And cooking, very creative, how we have these things that also do inform how we walk in the world and also how we do our business. So Diane, round us out with sharing about you and what is one of the things that we would not know about you normally.
Hey guys, I'm from right outside of Philadelphia in the county of Montgomery County. Been doing this for 31 years. My father was a builder, and so when I was 5 years old, I was going through sample homes, showing people around. So it's kind of in my blood. I have an MBA in marketing, and I took to the listing side right from the start. So I'm a lister, and I'm a team leader, and most of my family is part of the group. We were Cardano Realtors when we joined EXP, but we still have that Cardano Realtors group all together. And it's a big family company. And all I do is listings. And Icon 3 years. I'm on my 4th year here with EXP and for iconing. And I'm all about mindset and about referrals. So for the first client I've ever had, I still keep in touch with the client. They come to every one of my client parties, taking everybody to the Phillies game on June 18th for the 500 clients to the Phillies game. I do a client event 2 a year. And all of them is based, like everybody else was saying, by referral, by community. I built a really nice community of people, and that's how I survive right now in this crazy world of real estate. So what you might not know about me is that I am an amateur golfer on the tour, and I am a 3 handicap, and I'm playing in major tournaments all over the country. So I'm very excited about that. I won this coming up this weekend in Boston. So that's what you don't know about me. And I have a team that handles all the stuff for me, which is great. They're built by systems. If you don't have systems, it's very important to have those to create that lifestyle where you can go out and play golf and come back and work. So that's about me.
Yeah, for sure. So you're going to be in my neck of the woods in
Mattapoisett,
Mattapoisett, and that is actually really close to me down here on Cape Cod. You'll see when you come down.
Okay, I'll be at the Bay Club. the
Yeah,
Bayhill Club. Yeah.
beautiful area. Mattapoisett is just beautiful. I've got some
Yeah.
good friends there.
This Sunday. Oh, can't wait.
Yeah, Warner Brokers.
Thank
That's
you.
great. And I love what you were also sharing about the client parties. I think some people do, oh, we'll do a movie theater, but I bet a lot of people will be like, hey, I want to go to the Phillies game. Let me look at Diane.
Well, yeah.
That's a really, I'm sure it's a
Definitely.
huge investment, but I'm also sure that it really pays off for
Yeah.
your
I do
business.
the Thanksgiving pie as well. I spend about $20,000 a year on client stuff, and it comes back 100%.
Yeah, wow. That's huge for sure. So this morning we've got a little bit, we had about 45 minutes, and I kind of want to break up a little bit about what we're going to talk about. It's all basically mindset in the end, but kind of mindset, skill set, and then to leave some folks with tool set. So let's start with mindset. We've all kind of touched on it. And one of the things that I find really we're kind of revelatory about people, and please, be honest. If there's nothing, that's okay too. But what is your process for daily motivation? Do you have a morning routine? What does that look like? And has that changed? How does that inform the way that you walk and live and work? And let's go the opposite. Shall we start with Diane?
Well, I'm real big on mindset. My coach, Joe Stumpf, he runs a company by referral only. He has a thing called private work. So privatework.com. I go there in the morning and I either do an hour-long one or just to kind of work it out before I act it out. And I do breathing and meditating, and that's my morning ritual. And then I go work out. So I'm really big on just getting my mind clear before so I don't go chihuahua on anybody during the day, So that's my mindset is it reflects around the meditation, clearing my brain, and clarity is power. When you have clarity, you can give good decisions. You can give good advice only when you're clear about what your goals are.
Yeah, that's so important. I really agree. For me, the clearing is more, kind of my ego and all those pieces that when I allow myself to let go of those things, then I get a clearer connection and clearer message for sure.
Yeah.
Laura Healy, Canada, what does your morning routine look like? And how does that kind of inform, your relationships and your work life?
Okay, so last week I shared on the ICON conversation, I'm a big sleeper. I like to sleep a full, like pretty much 7.5, 8 hours. So my body kind of sleeps until I wake up, unless there's an alarm clock set. So I like to wake up with a calming music on my alarm clock or natural light. So I'm big about maintaining my nervous system in a calm state. And I think a lot of us are so driven by hitting our goals, target, but I've started to experiment to see how I feel when I wake up with a shock versus wake up in a calm state. So it's going well. It's been about a year, and I have less like gut issues or other things because we're in a very demanding role. And I think without our health, we can't reach the goals that we're trying to achieve. So I'm learning how to meditate. It's hard. I have a brain that kind of bounces around from topic to topic. So I'm at 10 minutes right now. My partner and I sit in bed and hold each other's hands. He's much better at it than I am. And so that's what I'm doing. But I believe really in getting a little bit of fresh air. And I do my darndest to not set any appointments before about 10:30 in the morning. So I try to make it to Pilates 2 or 3 times a week, or a workout with like a kind of a small group personal trainer workout. So I believe setting your morning up for success is a huge factor in having a fabulous day. And I loved what Diane said about, putting yourself in the right mindset so you can give good advice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you were saying about actually, working on doing it with your partner. I'll share it a bit, but we try to do that some days as well, for sure. Anna, how do you start your day, and how does that kind of inform your personal and work life?
Before I have kids is a little bit different than after you have kids. I think everybody's the same. And with being a mom and also a workaholic, it's kind of hard to balance it out. But when I put my kids to school and, then that's when I start my day. So I drop my kids off at 8:40 in the morning, and that's when I actually officially starts my day. It would go into, like they say, you go to a meditation state where you kind of take like a 30-minute, self-meditated, just take a deep breath and do some stretching and exercising, just very light stretching and exercising. And I would do a cup of coffee, and then I would sit in my computer for a good 30 minutes and look at some, updated news from, any kind of channel that would be able to give me some kind of, update on the current market with, either real estate or the economy or any kind of news that's happening around the world, just to give myself an update for that day. And then I would go into time blocking for 2 hours and start to call on catch up on my files and talk to my assistants and give them a briefing for the morning to see what they need to do for the day and what their task is going to be. And then I would then start doing planning with the Google Calendar or whatever I need to do in between, the middle of the day until I pick my kids up. I used to work a lot, but now I start to incorporate my life with my kids, time to pick them up and their studies. So I kind of juggling a lot between the work and kid life right now. So before I would put my full day into like a work mode, and I would ignore that I actually have kids, but that's bad to do. But I'm trying to be a better mom, so I do, cut off my time for working now versus when in my younger days, all I focus is just the full day in my calendar is just my work life.
Yeah, for sure. I was smiling to myself thinking about, it's a very different answer when you have kids or no kids or grandkids, depending on who's at the house the night before and that morning. It definitely it's a different
Mm.
lifestyle for sure.
Yeah, if you asked me like years ago, before I have kids, I would have a different morning routine. I could tell you every day and how I would do it, and people would be like, "Oh my God, then you have no personal life." It's like, why would you do that? But now I'm trying to be like, okay, I'm a mom. I need to make sure that, I had spent some time with my kids and personal life with them. So, I'm trying to work on that. That's part of, being a workaholic. It's a little bit hard for both to be balanced. And a lot of people said, well, you can get it balanced, but I'm still trying and I'm still trying to get it balanced right now.
Yeah,
It's
I
hard
think
for me.
sometimes I feel like that's just a like water moving to its own level. I think it's difficult if we try to, impose balance, but the awareness of all the different pieces of your life and showing up for your clients and your children and your partner and your home and your yard and all the things that you pour yourself into, that seems like certainly our work for those of us that tend to be on the busy side for sure. Jenna, share with us kind of what your morning routine looks like and how that helps you manage the way that you walk in the world.
Sure. Yeah, I really resonated with a lot of what Laura said. I too function best when I'm getting my consistent 8 hours a night. I do tend to be a bit more of a night owl, so I might be responding to emails and doing my market data research later in the evening, which I love the schedule send feature on my phone. I can schedule texts to go out at 9 a.m., even though I did the work, at midnight or 1. So I do a lot of that. And I also try not to set myself up to where I have to leave the house before 10 a.m. I like to, have my couple hours in the morning to just relax and have my coffee and get my emails. And I always set my priorities for the day. And really, I think it's just about the habits that I maintain throughout the day, more so than the morning for me. And that's really just making sure I'm moving my body is enough for the week. And then also, I early on as a new agent, I really I built the habit of just consistently listening and feeding my brain with the good stuff. So podcasts on real estate, different like self-development books. I'm listening to something really uplifting and positive in the industry or within self-development on a daily basis. I think that really helps.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I'll just share, and I, thank you for also acknowledging sleep. I remember many years ago, our Ariana Huffington was always talking about sleep and napping, and kind of was one of those first ones that like built nap areas in the workplace and all of that. And I've always thought of it as kind of lazy, and I don't know, I just was not a great napper, but I have found enormous benefit in recognizing the importance of rest and sleep, and sort of that, if you're able to, when you need to, that very short 45-minute kind of a nap. I guess the science says if you go much beyond that, you go into a deeper sleep and it's really hard to get back up again. But if you just, even if you're laying there, I don't know if you guys have tried it, or people in the audience have tried it, but even if I just lay there and I'm not really thinking I'm asleep, maybe I go into like a light REM, it's amazing how much better I feel. I think I have more judgment about myself for doing it, right, than actually and the benefit is quite great. So that's something I like to try to like address in my own life. But so my morning routine, I try very hard. I do meditate every day, and sometimes it's only for 5 minutes. Marianne Williamson said even 5 minutes of meditation a day can dramatically change your life. But typically it's for longer than that. And I like silent meditations, although I also try different guided meditations. I've got that Insight Timer, as I'm sure many people do, an app that I use every day, and there's a million things on there. And then I do a bunch of different readings. Depending on what's happening in my life, there's all different kinds of books that I read from, that I get some direction from, that I get sort of a thought for the day. I have these little cards. There's 52 of them that one of my teachers, Elena Brower, has produced. And so I pull a card every day, and I try to think about, like, why did I have that card? Maybe it's the word sovereignty, or maybe it's tenderness, or, some days I go, I don't even want that word today, but I still have that word in my mind, and I kind of reflect on that during the day, and let that be kind of just a light somewhere for me. And I've also taken to journaling a few sentences about that after I meditate, and it's amazing. Whatever I was thinking of during meditation may have nothing to do with what I end up writing, but there's some real clarity. And I think it was Diane that talked about clarity is power. And it's been a very powerful experience for me to do that every day. But I also look the night before. I look at my morning, I look at my day, and so that I'm not surprised with, whatever time or what responsibilities. Like I really, that has become a real useful tool for me, is to look ahead just at tomorrow. What are those big responsibilities? What am I made sure I prepared for whatever those things are? Do I have to get up earlier than usual? Do I have to get camera ready earlier than usual? Right? That's our lives today. Because a lot of my life is that. Certainly, am I going out to meet with clients, or am I on a board meeting at 10 a.m.? Like others shared also, if I can, I try to push things to after 10, because that really gives me a real nice runway in the morning, but I can't always do that. I have all kinds of freakish meetings earlier. And so, you have to do what you have to do, but knowing the night before so that I'm not, in any kind of a situation has been hugely beneficial for me as well. So let me ask you now to share. We'll just do one more on mindset, and then we'll kind of move to skill set. Can you share a mentor with us? Maybe a mentor that's, kind of could be alive or dead, but a mentor and a quote. Is there something that is guiding for you? For example, one of my huge mentors in life is Tony Robbins. And I don't think Tony was the first one who said this, but in my mind, and it's up on my whiteboard right next to my office, my desk, and it says, you always have a choice. And that is a powerful motivation. That's a powerful quote for me that I remind myself all the time. You know, people say, "Hey, how are you?" And I'll always be like, "I'm really fabulous." It's a choice. You know, that the power that I get from that thought that we always have a choice about how we're going to act and react and walk and speak and all of those things. So let me go back through, and this time I will pick Laura. Would you start us off, Laura?
Well, I think from a very young age, I had a really involved, well, both my mom and dad were really involved. So they sacrificed a lot for myself and my sister. And I think that made a huge difference because everything we tried, my parents gave us options. They talked us through it. You know, why do you want to do that? How do you feel when you want to do it? But in a kind of like more supportive way. Um, so I think my mentors or people that have believed in me have been really key. So I've had many because I believe that we all have different things that trigger us to achieve success, whether that's someone saying, "You've got this." I think that's one of my favorite lines is when I was spending a lot of time with my best friend's kids during COVID. The little 4-year-old would always say, "We got this, Aura, we got this," as we ran around the baseball diamonds, and she could never catch her bigger sister. And so I started saying back to her, "You got this, Seiji, you got this." And so I think that we're stronger together. And so over the last 4 years since I became a solo agent at EXP, I vowed that I would always support other agents, particularly other female agents, for the fact that we need a community and community can instill positive mindset. So I don't have any famous quotes from anybody famous, but I would say just the small little influences. You don't know what you're going to say to someone that's going to instill confidence, that's going to inspire them to achieve greatness. I know I'm taking probably too much time, but I have to share with the group today that I set out a year ago to get this 10-year-old into school in Mexico. And so right now I'm in Merida, Mexico. I have a house in Tulum, and she's the cleaner's daughter. Her mom has worked her whole life in camps or campos, which basically are picking fruit or whatever. And this little 10-year-old girl named Mili has never been to school. Mm-hmm. Today, she's at her first day of private test school. And the moms at this school are raising money so that Millie can try to go to school in August. And everyone says in Spanish, there's a phrase, "si se pueden." And so when we taught Millie how to swim this year and taught her how to ride a bike so she could get to school, everybody would clap their hands and shout, "si se pueden." So you know what, everyone in the room, you've got this. You can do it. So there we go. It's kind of cool that the same phrase in English translates to Spanish, and it's kind of my motto. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. You've got this. We've got this. Thank you. Let me ask Anna, is there a phrase that you reflect on that was shared by a mentor or just kind of a life statement like Laura shared?
Well, there's always this one quote since I was maybe my 17 or 18 years old, like when I was that age. I don't know where I saw this quote, but it always resided on me. And I always, I think it's by Ralph Emerson, if I'm not remembering correctly, but it says, "Don't go where the path may lead, go instead where there's no path and have a trail." So I think this was printed on like a coffee shop it's on a board in a coffee shop, and then that resided on me since then until now. So it just always reminded me to, be a leader, don't be a follower when I'm doing things. So that gives me a lot of pointers when I do things in my job, in my line of work. So I believe that there is a lot of different
mentors during your lifetime that you may come in contact with, maybe in different stages of your life. And those may be the people that you look up to, or maybe a coach, maybe a friend, maybe someone that you just know, and it may be your family members, whoever that's inspire you during that time when you're in need of some inspiration, I would say. But I think coaching wise, I don't have any specific real estate coach that I'm specifically coaching with currently. But I would say if everyone that is new, this ICONversation or anything that EXP have on right now, where we are doing mastermind, those are very good platforms that I don't see in other brokerages that I had with before. And those are really some good programs that could help you train yourself without actually have to pay for a actual mentor or a coach per se. So
So true. That
that's
is so true. We have so much, with there are so many places to connect and to gain inspiration and skill sets and tools, and it's just stunning every single day. I'm blown away still 4 years later, for sure. Laura, can you? I'm sorry, Diane. Can you jump in and let us know if there's kind of a
Yeah,
phrase?
my mentor is Joe Stumpf. I've been in business 31 years. I've been with him for 31 years. He's been with me for 31, and that is my mentor. I don't nobody know him, but he's a by referral only, just by referral only membership, not membership, but that's what he runs that program. It teaches how to build your business by referral. And I went to him like my first week in business. So I like really, really understood the importance of making connections, and I'm part of his inner circle now. And I think I would have not be where I am without him. So he's been, and then he brings the meditation and the breathing and going to his ranch to go on, little 2-day future self experiments, finding out what what your future self really wants you to be, and asking you questions about, what do you really want in your life. So it's really been, for me, I would not be where I am without having that person along the way, who's also a good marketer, explaining different marketing things and things like that. So that's my sole, besides my father, of course, your parents are role models and all that, but in business, which I relate to, he's my mentor. And I would, like I said, not be where I was without him.
All right. Well, that sounds something I think people will be checking that out for sure.
Yeah.
Jenna, would you share with us a quote or a mentor that kind of is a big way shower in your mind, in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've had several mentors since I've been licensed. I am a big fan of Grant Cardone and his books, and I love his philosophies for sales training and just business in general. But one that's really standing out to me is one of our own, actually, Ricky Carruth. He's an EXP agent, and I love his quote. He says, transactions happen every single day by the truckload, regardless of market conditions. And I think that's so true. It's so easy for us to see all the scary headlines and just start to panic, or have a slow month. And, you can easily get into a negative headspace. But I think anytime I see a headline or have any concerns, I just jump in and see what Ricky has to say about it. And he always puts such a positive approach on any sort of news. And I think he's great.
Yeah, no, I just love that. And I think it's so true, especially right now, right? I just got back from Washington, D.C. for NAR legislative meetings. And, I think no matter what, real estate's the economic engine of the economy. Look how we figured it out, in the beginning of the pandemic, when there were no such thing as a Facebook open house. We made that up, right? We made up all that stuff. So anyway, we are resilient. We, not allowing yourself to be affected by all of that stuff, and just continuing in your own life to work with your own clients and share the good news about real estate, I think is a hugely important.
You can find the positive in any situation. So that's the key.
Yeah, you can. So let me try to shift a little bit to skill set. And this is an interesting question that I'd like to pose to all of you. And Jenna, I am going to have to step out for one moment. So I'm going to ask you to kind of run this next piece. But here's my question. What's a skill set that you are cultivating or getting better at, learning that you never thought you would be using in real estate? Right? So what's a skill set? What's a skill that you are realizing now, or that you have been continuing to cultivate, that you just did not think was going to be something that you needed to be pulling out of your pocket as we're selling real estate? So I'm going to pass it to Jenna. Why don't you start, and then you can kind of go down the line. And I'm still going to be here for another couple of minutes, but I may have to pop out for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see, skill sets. So obviously speaking, this is something that's new for me. I always, even as a brand new agent, I attended EXPCon and shareholders, and I just I had so much admiration for the speakers on stage. It really is a whole separate skill set. And I've noticed just improvements in myself and effective communication with clients. So that's something I'm working on every day, and I'm pushing myself to do more things like this. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go with. Laura, let's hear from you.
So I have a bit of an interesting background because I was in the industry before, but I think the skill set that I'm working on is a combination of preparation and learning how to virtually market in a more authentic way. So it took me a while to find my voice because I find a lot of real estate marketing quite tacky. No offense to anyone who does it, but I found that it was like, you're looking at a listing. Who cares if I'm walking around the house? You're not buying what I'm, promoting. I'm not Vanna White saying, and this is the kitchen table. So it took me a bit to figure out what my authentic marketing plan was. So yeah, I would say social media, online videos, and giving myself permission to not be perfect at it. And over at every conference, I hear, oh, if you saw me 10 years ago on YouTube, you would laugh, or, and you hear it over and over again, and the videos morph, and just the ability to continue to learn and surround ourselves with talent. So yeah, basically, I never thought I would become a social media video partaker. I'm quite a private person. So yeah, every day I take leaps towards being more confident and just saying, you know what, I am who I am. You either like me or you don't like me. You accept me or you don't accept me. And so, and just being, willing to try over and over again. So that's what I got for you, Jessica.
Good for you. That's awesome. I think as I continue to integrate AI into my business, I've really been using it for helping me to curate my captions and my messaging on social media. So I'm finding there's that piece where you really have to stay authentic to your messaging. So I'm kind of like learning that balance between using the AI but keeping it true to me. So that's been interesting as well.
I love it, Jessica. I think we have so much potential to use AI to help us with scripts, to help us with blog posts. I've only started dabbling it in the last 6 months, and I find it a great asset to my business.
Okay, Diane, what would you say would be your skill set that you are cultivating?
Well, right now I'm also on YouTube. I've been building a YouTube channel, and it's been a challenge to understand all the algorithms and just what really works. And it's fun, and it's also a challenge at the same time. So you get camera and this and that, and I've been just learning about microphones and just something I never thought I'd be doing. But my channel is Living in Philly in the Burbs, and check it out and subscribe. I have 296. I'm looking for 1,000 by August. So I've been just putting myself out there, and it really works, because now the reason why I got into YouTube was to give my clients a place to send their referrals to, because my clients don't know what to say when it comes to what to say. So to just say, go to YouTube, and they give them the link. And I think that's been helping a lot with the people that get now before I go into their house, I give them my YouTube link, like, check out my playlist for home sellers, and they do that, and they seem to like it. So it's working. So it's good. So just putting yourself out there is probably seems to be the same concept everyone's saying.
Yeah, no, I love that. I also I started a YouTube channel as well, but I really haven't poured into it as much as I know I should. One of the videos that I made that was really helpful was just how to get started as a brand new agent, because I did have quite a few, friends and people reaching out to me like, how did you get started? What do I do? So it's been nice to send that whole video over, just kind of outlining everything that one would do to get started in real estate, and just have that like resource library that you can just share. But yeah, it gets easier as you develop the skill set, because talking on camera just isn't that natural in the beginning. Okay, let's see, Anna. What skill set are you currently cultivating?
Cultivating. Or you're saying that I think I didn't really understand the good question. What was the question again?
Sure. Just what skill set are you currently working on and trying to improve?
Oh, I see. I thought he asked, she asked that, what kind of skill set you think that you would use now, before you become a realtor, and now that found that skill set's kind of important in your business. So I misunderstood her question.
No worries.
So yeah, I had something totally different response on that. So it probably was going to be different if I'm going to answer it that way. But
Yeah, feel
I
free to.
guess I would just,
Just gonna
yeah,
say,
I
just
would
feel free
say I
to
would.
respond however you see fit.
I see. Yeah, so I would say, before I got into the real estate business, as I get into it more, I realized that being like a psychological teacher, like not a teacher, but like someone that would understand your clients' emotions, their ups and downs, and how to rate people, that kind of plays into a great role of real estate. And I didn't think that that would be one of the skills that you have to have in the beginning. But I found that that helps a lot when you know how to read the way they behave and read the way they act in a certain situation, and you can kind of tell what type of personality your client is, A, B, C, or D, and how you would match them up with the the agents that you're going to assign them to, if you're having them work with one of your team member, and how that would fit. And I think that that has helped a lot, in my production, is to really read people. And obviously, being on social media and getting yourself out there, that's kind of important also, which I think that, it's not something that I would think that was very important in the very beginning, when this whole video thing comes out, when people are saying, oh, do a lot of videos and do all this, and how I just didn't see how that was going to help. But I guess because you record yourself and you're showing people how you're personable, and when people are watching your videos, they get to know you more, and it's not just a whole level of just business. It's more like people think that they know you already because they see all your videos and stuff like that. I do have like about 1,500 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I'm working on that to grow it some more and spend more time on it. I can say that I don't spend a lot of time on growing on my audience, because I'm mainly for focusing on hammering down transactions and keeping the team's pipeline afloat. So that is a project that I've been actively trying to work on, is to grow my audience base. What would set you aside by just, instead of just talking real estate all day, on your channel, what would set you aside? What kind of value would you provide to your clients? Going to just channel other than just real estate. What would they, what would they feel like they would still remain as your subscriber after they purchase the home from you, or after they sell from you? So that's something that I kind of need to figure out, where I need to lie in terms of in the social media realm, if that makes sense. Like how you position yourself in your social media realm, what kind of realtor or a blogger that you want to post yourself as.
Yeah, and that would
So
be
that's
reflecting
what I'm
your
trying.
niche. That would be reflecting your niche as well. But listen, 1,500 subscribers is nothing to shake a stick at. So feel good about that for sure. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Jenna. Did we get everyone on the skill set question?
We did.
Oh, fantastic. So yeah, it looks like we're just going to be wrapping up. I've got a question here I wanted to ask you ladies at the end. Let me just say my skill set, honestly, that I continue to, in my personal life as well as my real estate world, is really in listening with intention. not a strong suit for me. And one of the things that I realized, it's a couple of years now. I don't want to say it was yesterday, but it wasn't that long ago. I mean, a couple of years, that when you're used to filling space and you're used to being the one that drives the conversation a lot, you don't realize that when someone else is answering and they're not typically people who talk a whole lot, and then you stay quiet, they often have more to say. I never got to that part because I was so busy, going on to the next thing or realizing. So that really, like, letting there be space and intentionally really listening is a skill that I continue to grow, that is really useful in my real estate world, and learning more about clients and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to mention that. And disclose my authenticity there for sure. So let me ask you, ladies, as we are wrapping up, maybe some of you do this. I wanted to ask you if you have a one word. I have used John Gordon's one word process for many years, and it's been very powerful. I've done it with my team, done it with my family, where you kind of, through a series of questions or meditations, a combination of all those things, a word may come to you that can be a guiding light for the year. And I'm wondering if you ladies have a word, if you could share a word, or is there a word that also may be informing the rest of 2024? We're in the middle of some pretty dramatic changes in our industry. We don't need to necessarily change the way we're doing business, but the world around us is shifting in some ways. So I just wanted to ask, is there a word that you would share with us that you'd like to, that has been your word for 24, that may be a word that you'd like to work towards for the rest of this year, reflected maybe in the current changes or maybe just the way you're walking in the world? Let's start with Jenna. Let me start with you again.
I'm thinking on this one. Something that's coming to mind is just to lead, help my clients navigate through the biggest transaction of their lives, help my team navigate through the ever-changing conditions. I like to view myself as more of a consultant. So just, I have a lot of clients that want to get into their first investments. So that's coming to mind for me. Just lead and, yeah, I don't know.
I love that. I absolutely love that. That's a powerful word. Yeah, I hope you have that up on a sticky somewhere. You should do that.
I should.
Yeah. Anna, how about you?
I would say for 2024, I would say improvise, find things to substitute or replace or what you're doing. I guess it's just that if it doesn't work this way, find another way to work around it, basically. I mean, if they're saying this big change is coming, then accept it and find a way to work around it.
Yeah, that sounds like resilience too, right? I heard improvise.
Yes.
I heard resilience too, for sure. Thank you.
Sure.
Laura, how about you?
I would say positivity, but connected with positivity is value.
So can you say more about that?
So I think as the market changes, we need to give great value to our clients. And that can be through mindset. That can be through the types of communication we deliver. That can be through how we communicate. That can be through, I guess I repeated myself there, but that can be through our connections with our community, or how we make their buying or selling experience be easy, smooth. So that would probably be really like, what makes you stand out? Like what makes you stand out against your competition? Like roll the red carpet down, celebrate those purchases, those successes, instill that they've done something that a large percentage of the population haven't done. We were at EXP CanadaCon and we were in the top 50 room, and one of the business people had equated a week before that meant that we were in the top 2% of the company. Wow. And so, that's huge for all of the ICON agents in EXP. That's huge. You're in the X% of it. So I think we can bring that value over to how we do business and really celebrate the successes of our clients, whether that's buying their first home, like someone mentioned, whether that's helping their kids buy their first home. You know, whatever level it is, remain humble and really celebrate that they've done it, whether that's their first condo, whether that's their, you know, their dream house. It doesn't make a difference what the money value is. It's that they've achieved the goal they set out to achieve. And I think sometimes we overlook it. You know, we should celebrate that we've achieved what we worked so hard to achieve.
Absolutely. Thank you. So positive and value. Diane, what would be your word?
Mine is responsibility, because if you're not responsible, none of these things can happen. And that determines your, you know, your resilience, obviously, but the responsibility, and that when, you know, that you're accountable to yourself. You know, I'm going to, between 5 and 6, you know, make my past client calls and connect. And then, you know, the worst person, the hardest person to be accountable for is yourself. So being responsible is really important, and don't do anything unless you're not committed.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So Jen said lead, Anna said improvise or resilience, Laura said positive and value, and Diane said responsibility. I'll share my word for 2024, which is more valuable today to me than it was when I came up with it at the end of last year, is the word grace. I've been able to kind of fit that into a bunch of different situations, giving myself grace, giving others grace, giving our profession grace right now as we're going through all of these things that we're going through. So that's my word, and I'm holding on to it for sure through everything. So it looks like we're just at 12, just about 12:44, 12:45, and I think we've come to an end of today's iConversations. I hope everybody that has stayed around got some real value out of this. I know we're happy to stick around for a few moments and answer any questions if there are any. And I guess we turn it back over to Brian.
Absolutely. This was a fantastic panel. I want to thank you all for coming today. You brought it just like you said you would, Lisa. All of you, thank you so much. If you are watching this out there on YouTube, smash that like button. We are here every day from 8:45 a.m. Pacific time, 11:45 Eastern.